Rob Stone and Hall of Famer Randy Peterson back here with you in Las Vegas. Our continuing coverage of the PBA World Series of Bowling Bear Viper Open. Sean Rash up first. He finished third in the opening match, but that was enough to move him on with Stuart Williams and Ildemaro Ruiz Jr. Here is Rash. He was a little bit nervous, and rightfully so, by that one leaking far right, but he still gets the strike.
Yeah, he used pretty much all of the lane on that shot there. Looked like he had a little issue with the approach, but no harm, no foul.
Williams, the high man in the last game at 238, had 9 strikes total, including 2 3-baggers.
Stone 9.
This is 3rd year on the tour.
He's great at rolling the bowling ball. Likes to go straight when he can. That ball had so much on it, it goes right past the 9-pin. Well, this young man here should have a little confidence now, huh, Rob?
Yeah, he had to come from behind, ended up finishing 2nd with a 213. Had to overcome an open frame as well. Seems to be a little bit dialed in right about now. So Ruiz and Rash with the strike. Williams trying to get a spare in the first, and he will. Next up, Sean Rash. It appears he and Stewart aren't exactly the best of buddies.
Great bowler, we'll never be friends.
Why's that?
Personality clash, maybe, I guess. That's probably the best way to put it.
Stuart Williams. I think it's Stuart Williams of being a great player in Europe, but has a lot to learn in the United States. And that's not saying that he doesn't have any talent. It's just a matter of when you get to the USA, we just have such a big pool of great players. When you beat Dominic Barrett and Oscar Palermo in a tournament that has 50 people or 150 with multiple re-entries, it's still a win. And you can never take a win from someone, but it's a different mentality.
Go. Rash on the left, and he's 3-6-10.
Shot.
This in the 2nd frame here, and another look at that effort. First time I've ever heard the lack of love between those two guys. Sean stepping up for the spare here on the left. Cleans that one up nicely, so he'll take a seat and into the frame. Stuart Williams walks by. His effort in the 2nd frame had a 9 spare in the first. Here he is on the right lane. And Messenger takes care of the 10.
Bad break.
Good break there, only leaving the 6. This ball goes right through the nose. Check out the eyes right at the foul line.
Little Wes Malott.
I was just going to say, another guy that does that, another player out here that target similar to that would be Wes Malott.
Look at the Williams hop over there at the end. Like that react. Here's Ruiz. Left the 4-pin as those pins just jumped up. Here's Williams. Looking for another spare in the 2nd. So Ruiz with the spare there in the 2nd. Things tight through 2. Just 1 pin separating our 3 finalists. The conclusion of match 2 from Las Vegas when we return. The PBA Bear Viper Open is brought to you by Alka-Seltzer Plus. Alka-Seltzer Plus liquid gels provide more complete cold relief than NyQuil. By Columbia 300. Columbia bowls the world over. By Geico, saving people money on more than just car insurance. And by Track, evolutionary, revolutionary.
Ildemaro Ruiz Jr.'s dad came loaded with signs. I'm not really sure what the porcelain dolls on the left represent, but
Do you know what the Venezuela eres tú means?
I do not.
Venezuela loves you.
Oh, what a nice little motto.
His name and Venezuela loves you. That's a nice poster.
Here's Sean Rash, who is tied with Ruiz right now through 2. We begin the 3rd.
Rash is lost. I'm telling you right now, he's lost.
On that right lane or both
Gotta
lanes?
stay still.
Both lanes. Went through the nose on the left lane, made a bad shot, went light first time up on the right lane. Remember this first shot on this lane to start the match? He didn't like it, got it wide, ball came back and tickled for a strike, this time through the nose. He is all over the place right now.
Love tap, but no delivery from the messenger. Rash, oh boy. Think there was some anger in that throw?
Well, in practice, the players were trying to bounce these out. When these lanes were installed, the players were throwing it really hard at these splits, trying to bounce pins out, and they were successful doing it. I saw Sean Rash make the 4-6 split.
So Williams converts, and Rash goes open here in the 3rd, which puts Williams into the lead, but not by much.
Ruiz, strike spare. Oh, baby split coming up. That one a little heavy.
Remember, Sean's last win came in the biggest arena finals ever.
Milwaukee.
Miller Park, right?
He had a wonderful start on television, 7-0 since then. Oh, he's had a lot of struggles, a lot of opportunities, particularly here at the World Series of Bowling, but hasn't been able to capitalize. Ruiz trying to clean it up in the 3rd. Big pickup. Boy, he's had 2 today already.
He's managed his game very nicely thus far. Currently tied with Stuart Williams, Sean Rash, a full 12 pins back.
Okay.
Williams in the 4th. There's his first strike here in match number 2. Seems very even-keeled today.
He's in the right frame of mind right now. You could tell his body language, everything that he's doing. He's composed. He's thinking the right thoughts. He's going about it methodically. He's watching the oil transition. He's making his moves on the approach with his eyes, changing equipment, managing things very well.
Messenger kicks out the legs of the 10 pin. Still has the 6 to deal with. Rash off a strike in the 4th. Strike number 3 for Sean. That's Sean's father there in the blue and his wife in the blue and white. His mom was here in the early stages of the World Series of Bowling, headed back home to Alaska. Ildemaro Ruiz. Ooh. Kick that one out. Not a whole lot of room to spare there as we take a look at the leaderboard. Top 2 move on, and as difficult as this match has been for Sean Rash, sits just 2 pins out, and he's working on a double right now, trying to make it 3 in a row next time he steps up.
Well, he's 2 pins out of the lead, but he's only 1 pin out from advancing to the title match. Stewart Williams looking to double up right here.
And not a lot of follow through
Too fast.
from
Yeah.
Stewart. Not that his arm just stops, but just doesn't carry on very far.
You know, back in the day when I was
Slow down.
bowling full-time on tour, you would say this is cutting it off, but this is what we see in the modern game. You don't see a lot of follow-through anymore. You know, those days of following through over your head, those days are gone.
Why?
The equipment's changed, the game's changed, the way you have to throw the bowling ball and attack the oil pattern's changed. You have to play a lot more angle, you have to hook it more. Anytime you get short with that follow-through, it's going to make the ball start reading sooner.
Second strike for the Venezuelan Ruiz. Earlier we heard Rash's take on Stewart Williams and vice versa. So how does Sean feel about Ildemaro?
You make one show, it's pretty easy to make another one normally. And you know, I'm happy for the guy, but to make TV, but hoping that he doesn't bowl good when we get there. You know, it's one of those things that it'll be a great story if he wins, but you know, it'll be a greater story if I win.
Rash, 1 pin out of second place, 2 out of first. The lone American left after Mike Fagan, your #1 seed, was eliminated earlier. Wanted that one.
Yeah, it was a great shot, too. Ugly ringing 10, especially when you're on a double and you're trying to fight and claw your way back into this.
4 9 spares and 1 strike for this man. Stewart Williams gets another party in the pit. Rash, in a hurry, takes care of the 10 pin.
Yeah, don't take your eyes off him when he's shooting those single pin spares, because it's been quite an adventure.
Great shot, Sean.
And Ruiz slowing the tempo down a little bit.
He can start to pull away now. Working on a strike. Looking for his first double.
Oh. Big 4, creating a big mess for his scoreboard.
Yeah, and he's lost on this left lane. He's tried to move in, but he's afraid to give the ball room to the right. And that line is just too straight and too tight.
Rash.
Take advantage! Take advantage. Exactly right. I mean, your opponent steps up in just the tightest match. Take advantage! Did he say take his head or take advantage?
Might have been take the edge. It wasn't take the head, I know that.
Did he say take his head?
He did not. Ruiz had to toe the line there in an open frame, the first of this second match here.
That's exactly what you do. Your opponent in this format gives you that big 4 opening, especially when it's this tight. You step up and you put your foot right in his throat with a strike.
Rash with a 12-pin advantage now over Ruiz. Williams, your leader.
Oh, dear.
Looks like the left lane's starting to become ugly.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Robert. Rash gets the finish on that left lane, as does Ruiz.
Well, Rash is the guy who's got the momentum in his camp right now. Since that open frame in the third where he really looked confused, it's been strike, strike, 9 spare, strike. He's got energy in his game and energy in the building. As we wait for Ruiz off an open frame, here he is in the 7th. Bounce back ball for the Venezuelan.
Remember, low score is out right now. That is Ildemaro Ruiz.
Williams has been clean all day, and it will remain that way.
Stuart Williams at the top. 12 pins separates the last or lowest score.
Messenger puts on the brakes.
Sean actually has a pretty good look on that left lane.
Agreed.
He's hit the pocket the last 3 shots on the left, and he gets to finish on that lane. Goes the dynamite.
Yeah, burst of energy from Williams. He needed that one.
Well, that was a huge break. That could have been a big 4.
Rash.
Careful.
There's Stewart's last effort.
I want to see the react. See, that ball goes right through the nose. Rob, you've talked about how kind of stoic he's been all day. Well, he just showed us a little energy there.
Yeah, every once in a while, you got to unleash the tiger.
Yeah. Every once in a while, you got to let her rip.
Ruiz, his effort in the 8th, he can max at 223. Coming off a strike. Figured out the left lane there. Pop's pleased as his son takes a seat.
And a nice adjustment on that left lane. Finally finding the pocket after the big 4 split in the 6th.
Oh, it is a tight one as we open up the 9th. Rash. Way right. Way right.
1, 2, 4, 6 times super flushing.
What the hell was that?
It looked out of control and fast and way right. That could have just sealed his fate.
Williams stepping up. He knows he's got a great opportunity here. Again, nice, easy.
That's lucky. Good call.
And he's had a couple lucky shots lately. Big pickup here for Rash.
Oh, God.
Did not like it from the outset. An open frame, his 2nd of this match. Sean in big trouble. Shovel is out in the dirt, may be thrown on him in a moment. It seems that when these big moments come along, they just don't seem to go Sean's way. We've already seen it a few times here at this year's World Series. This missed 10-pin essentially handed the World Bowling Tour Finals to Mika Koivuniemi. And then we flash back to last week at the PBA World Championship. Not a terrible shot. Oh, what a horrendous result, leaving the 7-10. And now this just a few moments ago.
Sean has to somehow figure out a way to regulate his heartbeat, his heart rate on television. He gets too amped up, and he starts to overthrow and get fast.
You love the energy that comes from him, and the personality and the care and the desire and the want. And we're Sean Rash fans, and we want to see him win, and he does need to corral that somehow, just a little bit, without taking out that competitive edge.
You're right, and it looks like he just needs to take a little more time. It looks to me like he rushes and gets into a hurry.
Wants to play that quick tempo offense that we see in college football so much. Sometimes he just needs to have a huddle, go under center. Ruiz. Oh, oh yeah! How do you say oh yeah in Venezuela? I think she knows how. That was this close to being a 7-10. Instead, he drops all 10. Here's Rash. Still got some fire in his belly as he drops all 10 there. Here's your Bayer Fast, Safe Pain Relief Replay, brought to you by the makers of Bayer Advanced Aspirin. And oh, the little slide and slap and pump. Williams. Well, our 2 international competitors not yielding an inch to Sean Rash after that mistake.
That pretty much sealed the deal. Stuart Williams moving on. Sean Rash is
going down swinging.
Yeah,
2 in the 10th.
He's all but done. Ruiz needs good count in the 10th frame.
Well, earlier we heard Rash say Stuart Williams had a lot to learn about bowling here in America. Apparently, he's done his homework.
Stuart Williams has advanced to the championship
Stuart
match.
leaves 3 there, but he'll move on.
And Rob, just like the previous game, Ruiz will need a mark, or excuse me, good count here in the 10th frame. Gets 9 on the first ball, he will advance. Now I think all he needs is 8. 8 on the first ball, he moves on.
Team Rash watches. So bad. TV issues continue for that young man. Rash done with a 186. That 10 will weeble but not drop. Here's Ruiz trying to seal the deal in the 10th. Needs just 8 pins to advance.
8 on the first ball. Wow. Big Ford on that lane earlier in the match, and this time he gets away with one that goes right through the face. He moves on.
And Rash is done. So our title match is set. The Englishman, Stuart Williams, to take on Ildemaro Ruiz Jr. from Venezuela. And we'll get you set for our championship match of the Bear Viper Open when we return. Welcome back to Las Vegas and the World Series of Bowling. It was one of the most exciting finishes of last season. Tom Hess's victory over Jack Jurek in the USBC Masters. Next Sunday, the 2012 edition of the Alka-Seltzer Plus Liquid Gels USBC Masters comes your way. Live coverage, 12:30 p.m. Eastern next Sunday. Sean Rash, your 2007 USBC Masters champ. His last PBA Tour title. Well, today's finish in the Bear Viper Open will have to be added to the list of almost. For Rash, he finishes 3rd and is eliminated. Randy, the Hall of Famer, standing by with the disappointed American.
Sean, you had an open frame early, and then it looked like you found both lanes, had a little bit of carry problem, and then the disastrous 9th frame. What happened?
Well, all week long since we've been here, when my feet get fast, the swing gets behind me and I throw it through it, and instead of being aggressive and just missed right a little bit and it never made the move. And you know, hats off to Stuart and Ildemaro. They bowled a great game. You know, it is what it is, and time to move on and learn from the mistakes, and hopefully it helps in the future.
Thanks for your time.
You're welcome.
Today, not Sean's day, but we will see him again at this year's World Series of Bowling. But next, it'll be the Englishman, Beef Stew, Stuart Williams, versus the Venezuelan, Ildemaro Ruiz Jr. for the Bear Viper Open title.